Hello everyone, my name is Jules and I am here deep in the layers of Steamforged games with the one and only Jamie Perkins, the lead designer of the also one and only Monster Hunter World board game, and we are here for you lucky people to unbox some of these wondrous goodies and also teach you how to store them properly, because we're nice like that. So, shall we open up this massive crate? Because this is far bigger than you led me to believe.
It is, yeah. I mean, they might have to actually speed up this part of the video because it might take a little few seconds.
I'm concerned for the structural integrity of this table.
That is reasonable.
Ah, ooh, beautiful stuff here. So you start with obviously a lovely piece of art, and we can just chuck this away, right?
Absolutely not, no, we need that. It's got rules on the back.
Oh, I'm an idiot, I forgot. Okay, so what's all of this rules here then?
So what this is to help you organise your storage tray. So because this is a campaign game and we want people to be able to play a session, put it away, come back again with it ready to play straight away, then this is actually going to tell you how you can store your game in progress. So it's ready to go.
Oh, that's smart, because I have in the past with many campaign games put it all away, then realised that I've lost some of the cards or misplaced them. So this will actually protect, again, idiots like me. Thank you very much for that. What have we got in this big box?
So what we have here is the first 4 monsters of the Ancient Forest. So we've got the wings of the Rathalos that we can stick on there.
Oh, amazing.
I'll pass those to you.
Oh,
there you go. You're welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And you're going to get to stick those in here to our first 4 lovely beasties. So you've got the
oh, wow.
Anjanath.
My lord, the sculpts on these are incredible.
Toby Kadachi.
Oh, hey Tobes.
And then for the wings, I've just passed you a few minutes ago, this is Rathalos. So this is like the big boss monster of
that is insane. Oh, and I can just chuck these wings into them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That is incredible.
And then every quest...
I've done it wrong straight away. I knew I was. There was a 50-50 that I was going to get the wrong wing in the wrong place, and I thought to myself, don't worry, Jules, you'll get through this part, it'll be fine.
And then every
got through it together.
Every quest has to start somewhere, so you've got the Great Jagras is kind of the first monster you're probably going to face.
Yeah, I feel like the comparisons between these two here, you can immediately see who's the boss and who's not.
There's a little bit of a guide there as to which one's going to be first, isn't there?
Oh, bless him. I feel almost bad for him, but then I remember the size of your actual player characters and how even he dwarfs you by some considerable margin there. Yeah. Check out the goiter on that guy as well. Jeepers creepers.
As you say, even compared to him compared to the hunters as well, because these are characters you're going to be playing as.
Okay.
So then you compare him to Great Jagras. He's still got some serious size to him, as you're saying. Like, is he great sword?
Although, to be fair, look at that great sword on that hunter there. You are going to be cutting him down to size in no short order. These are beautiful sculpts as well.
So what we've got here as well is your other 3 hunters of the Ancient Forest. So if you want to play as the bow hunter, you can be bow hunter as well.
Which one do you prefer playing as out of the initial starting ones?
So actually like playing as a great sword hunter, so I definitely see that and go, that's what I want to play with.
Is it because you just like the tankiness of it, to be able to take hits, dish out damage, or is it...
He's kind of your off tank, so he's someone that kind of gets to just go and like hit things really hard, as you say, but also doesn't fall over to a stiff breeze. Whereas you've got your characters like your dual blade hunter that are more reliant on sort of just evading enemy attacks completely. But
they take a lot of stamina because they chain together a lot of attacks, don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's basically more of a risky, rewardy style play with that one.
I would say it actually is for a lot of the different hunters. But in terms of, so for the dual blade hunter, it's risk reward specifically of your stamina. Okay. Whereas with your great sword hunter and your sword and shield, it's risk reward of like your health is a resource as well because
yeah, of course. So this box that we're opening today, the Ancient Forest, this is one of how many core sets that people can get?
So there's 2 core sets.
Okay, cool.
And there are 8 boxes that people can get all together of different content.
8 boxes?
Yeah.
I say that, but I know that we're actually filming 8 videos here today, so we're absolutely fine on that one, yeah. So it's 2 core sets, 8 boxes to expand out the world with new monsters and I assume other heroes as well?
Yeah, so there's 14 different hunters you can play as over the course of the game.
Okay.
So there's 4 in this core set for the Ancient Forest, there's 4 more in the Wildfire Waste, and then you get another 6 in a play character expansion. So they all have different play styles you can play with, they approach the game in a totally different way, they have their own unique upgrades from different monsters that you can craft.
You are spoiling me with choice, I feel, a little bit here.
Absolutely. There's somewhere around this thing is just shy of 2,000 cards in the game overall. So that's how many different kind of weapons you can make, how many different armors you can craft. Like, there's lots of stuff going on here.
All I'm saying is thank God you're going to tell us how to store all of these properly, because 2,000 cards, if a few of them go amiss, and they definitely will in my household, that would be very helpful to keep track of them.
Absolutely. So this is what you've got for your storage tray at the start. So what we've done here is we've already punched this stuff out. Okay. So this is what your game's going to look like once you've already unboxed it and you've already punched the holes and everything. Gotcha. You put your tokens away in this area, and this is where you can store your cards. Now, there's actually, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's actually a lot of depth left in where these card slots can go. Yeah. Because that's intended for when you've sort of got a campaign in progress, you've brought got in some cards from your expansions. You've got a hunter, you've got your upgraded equipment already. You can just go, this is my hunter, this is everything I've got crafted, put it away in one of these slots, and you're ready to go for the next time you want to play the game.
Oh, awesome stuff. That is amazing. And we've got some wound trackers in there as well for the big boys.
So that's for the monster.
What?
So because the monster's health goes so high, some of the monsters go up to about 120 health.
Excuse me?
We couldn't do it on one dial. The graphic designer said, nope, can't do it. It's got to have 2 dials. So we stuck it together.
That is incredible. I love it. Over 100 wounds.
Yeah.
What are you doing to us, mate? That's crazy.
We're giving you some proper bosses to fight.
Apparently so.
Yeah, and this is for your hunter health dial as well.
Does this also go up to 100?
It doesn't know.
Yeah, surprising that, isn't it? Yeah.
You get 8 health. So
8 health. That does seem like quite a considerable margin of difference between the monster, the prey. Are we sure we're not the ones being hunted at this point?
Not always, no. Sometimes it's that way. So yeah, it's definitely the game's kind of meant to give you a feel of the fact that you are chasing down these huge creatures.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of elements of the game design that are intended to make you feel like you're just kind of trying to survive in an element of where they live, because they're massive titanic beasts.
Speaking of which, out of the 4 that comes in the core set, do you have a favourite? I feel like you're going to choose the biggest and baddest, but at the same time, our small little boy?
I do love a good winged dragon, but it's actually Tobi-Kadachi. So if you sort of like, it's a bit of I think of him sometimes a bit of a thunder squirrel.
Yeah, you can kind of see that, can't you?
Yeah, he sort of just like swoops around the forest and jumps around to different places. And we had a lot of fun implementing how that playstyle came onto the game as well.
Because obviously they're not all just going to be headstrong charging towards you, trying to smash you off. I mean, I know this guy definitely will be doing that, but like you say, it's movements and special spit attacks and tongue attacks and stuff
absolutely.
like that.
A lot of different ways in which the monsters can hit you. So they each have a sort of a unique special rule that changes how the core mechanics work for that particular monster.
Okay, cool.
And then on top of that, that's just hidden at the bottom here, is you have an individual behavior deck for each monster as well.
Oh, awesome stuff.
So these are the cards that actually control how the monsters work. On the back is the iconography for which monster that behavior deck belongs to. So this would be Azure Rathalos, regular Rathalos, then down to Anjanath as well.
Oh, awesome.
Great Jagras, etc.
Have you got any like specific moves to warn people of?
It's quite a few.
A lot of them are going to try and kill you, but I'm just saying, what are the real ones that Jamie would want you to pay special attention to?
So there's a flying fireball that the Rathalos does, that not only is it's just sort of throwing a fireball at you that's going to burn you to death, but also the fact that it's sort of strafing you to the side as well, so it's also going to be particularly difficult.
So it's pushing you away from
chase
it.
Down. No, it's sort of like kiting you, for lack of a better word.
Oh man, okay.
So it's actually it's shooting you with flamey death, and then also trying to avoid you as best it can. So it's pretty hard to chase down.
Clever girl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so what else have we got in this big bad box then?
So quite a few bits. So there's all of your different weapon cards and upgrades for your hunters as well. So I think what I picked out here was some of the initial upgrades. So this is just an example of some of the different upgrades that you can make throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
So some of the greatsword upgrades you can make.
Oh, awesome.
And all the way through. You also get sort of enhanced attack cards as well each time you upgrade your weapon.
Yep.
Through to different things for the sword and shield as well. These new snazzy attacks.
Now, just to clarify, each core set has got 4 different hunters in each?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're unique to each box then, effectively.
Correct.
Nice, okay.
And each hunter has their own unique set of cards. There's no, so for the attack cards and weapon cards, they're unique to the hunter.
Yeah.
For the armor sets, you can kind of just pull on whatever armor that you like. They're generic across the different hunters. So if you're facing, say, Tobi-Kadachi, you might have a hunter, say like the bow hunter, that can make a weapon from Tobi-Kadachi.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to hunt Tobi-Kadachi to get the different parts and create a new bow. But you might be a different hunter, I think it's the greatsword, that won't have a weapon they can create from Tobi-Kadachi in the set. So instead, they're thinking, well, if I can't create a weapon, at least I can create armor from Tobi-Kadachi.
Because, like you say, it's universal in that sense.
Exactly.
Very smart as well. So that means that you could pull other hunters from different core sets in to help you with hunts. Again, they would still get rewards even if it wasn't specifically bespoke to them.
Exactly.
Exactly. I'm with you.
But the thing is, there are rewards that are bespoke to those hunters as well. So say if you bring in hunters from another set, even from the other core box, or from the play character expansion, they all have cards that make them compatible with this set.
Oh, perfect.
One of the things that we think is special about Monster Hunter World is that all the sets are designed to work together, to speak to each other.
I'm glad that you said that, because it was a case of when you told me there was 2 to begin with, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be like that playground situation of Pokemon Red and Blue and not having a friend who wants to trade you an Abra. It's like, just give me a goddamn Abra.
There are cards that make this cross-compatible with Wilds by Waste.
Yep.
That's the other core set. So those are cards you probably wouldn't use at first, but they're in this set so that when you do play with Wilds by Waste, you've got your sets ready to go. It's actually not the one I picked up there. It's this one. So these are actually weapons you can't craft in Ancient Forests, but you can craft these when you start fighting monsters in Wilds by
Oh,
Waste.
that's amazing. So there is like there's an incentive to get both core sets then, because there's a lot of trade value between them in that sense.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
That's so cool.
So these,
I like that.
these are the cards belonging to these hunters,
Yep.
but they can't craft them until they face those monsters.
Awesome
Just
stuff.
as in Wilds by Waste, in that box set, there are cards for those hunters to make weapons from these monsters.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. Now, obviously, we've got all of our other paraphernalia like dice, wound tokens, big monster feet.
Loads of tokens down here as well.
So many tokens, in fact.
So these are your terrain tokens for like your bushes, ponds, and rocks.
Which means that we can stalk our prey through different areas and also achieve some sort of passive buffs and cons to going through them as well, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when you hide in a bush, your threat level of your hunter is a bit lower, so it makes it more difficult for the monster to kind of choose you as a target.
Yeah, because I remember when I played this with you guys on Tabletopia, we played like a 3D version of it as like a demo ages ago, and we were trying desperately to keep one of our party members alive, and found that throwing them into a bush was actually the best idea.
Yes, often is. Yeah. Go over there, be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't, just take a few
Die
minutes.
quietly.
Yeah. These are your tokens for your palicos. So if you're playing with two hunters,
I know that the audience has just perked up a lot there with the word palicos. I was going to ask you, they're in the game.
They are indeed. They come and help you. So they're actually, we use them to our advantage because in the video game, they're meant to come and help you when there are a fewer number of hunters. We do the exact same thing in the board game. So if you're only playing with two hunters, you have a palico each that can come and help you during the quests. A little bit later on, we're actually going to turn these palico tokens into miniatures. Because one of the sets, you get a miniature upgrade for these.
And I'm sure that with the power of editing, we'll be able to make that transition so snappy.
Just straight into my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
Done.
that. But in terms of how these work, you have these palico cards. So what you basically have is, so if you're starting a campaign or an individual sort of arena quest where there's only two hunters, then you'll get one of these palicos to come and help you.
Oh, the designs on these are so beautiful as well. I don't know if the... see that? Oh, actually, there you go. TikTok, enjoy that.
On the multi.
Oh, they're so cute.
We had quite a lot of fun designing the graphic design for those. So we've got, as you'd imagine, there's quite a lot of fans of Monster Hunter World in the company.
Oh, wrath of meow.
So to make that graphic design, we had to go and play the game, equip the palicos ourselves.
Oh, what a horrible job you have, isn't it? Yeah, to go and play an amazing video game and then make an amazing board game out of it. Oh.
To then take screenshots to make those armors.
They're so cute. And surprisingly deadly looking as well, most of them. This guy here is Plunderblade with his little rabbit skull. Like,
cute but mean.
Yeah, very much so. They're really, really cute.
Then you also have a lot of different tokens for your elemental effects and status elements.
Yes, okay. Which we'll be wanting to make great use of, because obviously taking down these beasts without any sort of sleep or poison or anything like that is going to be quite difficult indeed.
Can be. So we have the game, we made the game sort of push you to the limit as a hunter. So you won't be able to just dodge every single attack, roll out of the way, and then just use your skill of hitting them with the sword. That's fine, that's definitely important. But also sometimes not all of you are going to be able to dodge the attack because maybe there's four of you on the game board. It's going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
You have to decide which one of you is going to be sort of closest or the first away from the monster. That's important because of these targeting symbols in the back of the behavior.
Because it goes for the person who's got like the most aggro, effectively, who's standing out to the monster the most.
Yeah. So it definitely does that, but also on the back of these behaviors, to try and give the players sort of a bit of a tell of what the monster is going to do, is you have these symbols here which will show either that the monster is going to, they tell you that the monster is going to attack either the furthest target away, the furthest hunter, or the closest hunter.
So it kind of like infers the hunter's ability to read its prey, to go like, oh, I understand its movements and the way that it's rearing up. It's going to attack somebody over here or there, so I can adapt all my survival strategies towards that.
Exactly.
Very cool.
And then if there are say multiple hunters that are furthest away, then it would go for the highest threat hunter after that. Yeah. It's kind of like a tiebreaker. But between you as hunters, you can go, oh, the next behavior is going to attack the one of us that's furthest away. We now have to decide who's going to take that. Who's going to be the person that's going to take that hit, because one of us is going to.
And I remember that there's the mechanic in this is that you don't have a turn order that goes around clockwise or anti-clockwise. You choose as a party who goes first to activate, don't you? So that means that you can strategically try and maneuver yourself to get the best possible outcome of a terrible situation of being, I'm about to be eaten, for example.
Exactly. And we want the game to sort of push you to the limit of having to use all those mechanics. So that one, they have a value in the game, and also because it's more interesting for the players if you have a set of sort of difficult but interesting choices to make.
Understand, yeah.
Who's got enough health left? Who's got the dodge or the stamina and be able to dodge the attack? who has the armor to be able to absorb the attack? Can someone get elemental resistance? Oh, maybe nobody can take the hit this turn. Can we stun the monster instead?
To just try and delay them from activating, or put them to sleep, as it was my favourite thing to do in the actual game.
Sometimes there's almost an element of desperation of what can we do to slow this monster down.
Yeah.
And putting it to sleep, definitely a good option.
Go to sleep, please. And what's this final massive stack of cards here?
Damage cards.
Oh, here we go. This is the real juicy one.
So you have elemental damage cards for when you start dealing elemental damage, and then all these are needed to represent the damage decks of your weapons.
Yeah.
So obviously you'll start off with quite low numbers, and as you go up to the higher damage weapons, you'll start seeing sort of 3s and 4s. Now, each weapon in the game has a different combination of damage cards, and sometimes a different amount of damage cards in their deck. That's important because when your deck runs out of damage cards, your weapon's blunt. You've got to sharpen it, even if it's a hammer. And so you've got to take a turn to just sharpen your weapon. Get your damage cards back.
Getting the whetstone out.
Yeah.
Oh man. What's the maximum damage you can do, by the way?
So how this works is that if you play an attack card, let's say, if I can just grab one from the deck. Say if I play this one, Enhanced Jumping Slash. When it says I draw 2 damage cards, it very much depends on the damage cards in my deck. So I could have 3s, I could have 4s, 5s.
I see.
So it depends not only on how many damage cards you draw, but also the contents of your deck.
Gotcha. Okay, and you can tweak each element of these as you upgrade your character, can't you?
Correct, yeah. So different weapons have different combinations of damage cards and attack cards. That can customize your hunter to be be a specialist in fighting particular monsters. So when you're going through the campaign, you'll often be deciding as a group what's the best monster to hunt next. This gets more interesting when you have even more sets because you have more monsters to choose from.
And you've got the campaign book as well, which allows you to make micro decisions as you progress.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So and that gives you buffs and sort of cons as well, depending on what you've decided to do as a group going forward, doesn't it?
Yeah. You can go to the Astera base camp and do downtime activities, which kind of let you prepare for the next quest. Just as you do in the video game, you might go to the Meowscular Chef, eat a nice meal, get some elemental resistance, and then we're going to go and fight the Anjanath next.
Got you.
And if, say, in the core box, your big beastie to fight at the end of the campaign is the Rathalos, who does a lot of fire attacks, you might want to go and have a lot of quests against the Anjanath where you can build fire-resistant armor.
Gotcha.
To prepare for fighting the Rathalos.
So like it does in the actual video game, it rewards you for fighting the same monster maybe multiple times in order to really learn and hone in on its weaknesses, but also to farm it for materials.
Absolutely.
Cool beans.
Once you've taken a monster out, so this is the physiology card where you'll be actually facing the monster.
I gotta say, I love how you've done the designs of these monsters on there. It's like so fresh out of the game. It's beautiful. Yeah,
a lot of the the artwork from the game itself just fits really well in terms of how we've made the board game happen. But once you've then taken the monster out as well, turn the card over. That's what your reward table for the monster.
Oh, okay, cool.
So at the end of a quest, you would roll on that, and that's the amount of rewards that you would get at the end of the quest. And the more difficult the monster is you fought, because you might fight a more difficult version of the Great Jagras, you roll more dice to be able to get more rewards.
Oh, that's so cool. So you actually effectively just get better at hunting it because you fought it multiple times already.
Exactly. It's more difficult to take down, and then you get more from it for taking it out.
Very cool indeed. So it's constantly challenging you, but at the same time rewarding you equally for it.
Yeah.
Nicely done. So is that everything in this big box here?
So we've left a couple of so these are mainly the base decks. So you have a base deck of attacks to sort of begin with your hunter.
Yep.
Probably should have started with those, but never mind.
It's fine.
This is the order we're doing it in. So, and then just some more remaining tokens. I think we've kind of gone through everything really at that point.
Well, the question now remains, Jamie, my friend, is that as we are now coming to the end of our treasure trove of Monster Hunter World Ancient Forest Edition, the question is, how do we store it all again to make sure that there's the use for all of this? But I've buried it underneath here, so what are we going to do about this?
Well, what we'd have to do is we have to take out our storage, organize your storage tray.
Got you.
Advice, which just tells you here where you can put everything away. So this tells you, at this point, I'll show something nice to the camera.
Sure.
This will tell you nice and clearly where you can put things away. It gives you labels for all the different kinds of cards, where your tokens can go, and then your monsters will quite happily go back into your back tray on top of all the cards, and it all just sits nicely in the box.
Perfect stuff. And that's what I like about it. It all folds away so that we can all forget about how horribly we just got munched apart by these giant roaming beasties. But that has been our unboxing and a little storage tip advice from yours truly, Jamie Perkins over here, and Jules Gill. And this has been the Monster Hunter World, the Ancient Forest Core Set Edition. Let us know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and whether or not you're excited about getting your grubby mitts on this copy.